Hello, everybody. This is BloodShot9001. It is really good to be back at GDQ to show off Doom Eternal once again. Joining me on the couch, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm DrakePHOSE. I run and route this game.
Hi, I am Xiae. That's it. I play the game sometimes.
World record holder of every category.
Hi, I'm bryonato. You can't get rid of me quite yet if you're watching the Vanquish run. Here again. Reprising my role on Bloodshot's couch for Doom Eternal. Thank you so much for having me back, dude. I'm very psyched to be here for this run.
Anytime. I'm glad for you to see how broken this game can get again. So before we start, a couple of things you want to explain. We're going to be doing the DLCs today, Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2. These are kind of like New Game Plus runs, so unlike last year, we're not going to have a lot of time to explain tricks before stuff just starts happening. Drake, if you want to explain a bit about the game.
So Doom Eternal is a movement shooter with dashing, double jumping, and some of the regular staples of FPS first-person shooters, which is the same word. I'm going to keep going. Like bunny hopping. We will get into a lot of those details later. But to explain the category that we're playing any percent no major glitches, which is that we complete the game as fast as possible whilst following the no major glitches rule set. We won't get into details of what this rule set means. It just, it's kind of like an in-between of glitchless and no restrictions at all. There's some tricks that are banned, some that are allowed. We'll get into details. We're also playing on the Nightmare difficulty. We're going to be doing stuff that's very, very risky and scary, and it's going to be great fun.
All right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to start this, and then when I guess count it down, we'll start the timer. So just need to wait for this for a bit before we can start.
Let's go, Bloodshot.
Let's go, Bloodshot.
Woo!
All right.
A little clap.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So we start off the beginning of the run. There's going to be a lot of things that are happening, as you can see, a lot of movement tech, but let's just cover the basics of combat, which is quick switching. This is the most basic tech. Every time you fire a weapon in this game, there's some cooldown, but you can just avoid the cooldown by switching to another weapon and firing that instead, while the other weapon is in cooldown. And you're going to see that pretty much, like that's the bread and butter grammar of fighting in this game.
Oh, that was clean.
Very nice
It's
fight.
quite scary.
Typically being indoors in Nightmare difficulty is very scary. Mancubus, that big chunker that you're looking at over there, is very, very scary in close quarters. So we're going to keep our distance as opposed to getting really, really close. There's a lot of choreography in this fight, but here comes the first skip. We're going to actually skip a fight right here. Totally misplaced triggers all over the DLCs. That fight outside with that stuff we just hooked onto, all that little spider in the back, that's an entire fight. But the door that we just walked through to get into this area normally is supposed to lock. We just skipped the trigger for that lock. And you're going to see that oftentimes in this run. There's just going to be a bunch of poorly placed triggers and we're going to jump over them and walk past them. Y'all
were not kidding about the pace of this run too. You know, I mean, obviously I ran the game back on release, and I've seen quite a bit of, runs that start from Hell on Earth and everything. That looked cool.
Yeah, so that's called a dash boost. If you dash into certain sloped surfaces, or what the game considers sloped, you can just convert all your dash momentum upward, and that skips something like 3 or 4 fights that we're supposed to do over there, but we don't want to do them. So
we also assisted that dash boost with some. We also assisted that dash boost with some ballista boosting. This weapon right here. It has a little bit of kickback, so you can point it at the ground, shoot it, and you can kind of increase your height, as well as increase your speed by shooting it backwards.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like rocket jumping, but
very similar, yeah.
We're actually going to see a use of that here in a second. Instead of going faster, we're going to go upward here. And from here, we're going to avoid the climbable wall. And that skipped another fight trigger. And not only that, but because we skipped the fight, for some reason that red switch is also green, so we're allowed to shoot it.
Look at him go!
Whoa! Okay, was that like an in-game thing, or was that tech?
That was an in-game thing. Where you could get pushed by a fan.
Oh, okay,
Here.
okay.
That is called Slayer Elsa.
You got it.
When enemies go out of bounds, and you'll see that more later, they eventually die on their own. So what we do there is we use the ice bomb, which freezes enemies just as he spawns, and that was the wrong enemy to chainsaw. Whoops.
Whoa.
That's nightmare difficulty for you.
That is nightmare difficulty for you.
I was gonna say, it looked like you made one mistake and then instantly punished.
That is usually how this run goes. You have to... one thing, you start tripping up, and it's hard to make up for it. So because I have to redo it, I have to fight him, which is fine.
You gotta show it off though, right? So I mean, that's the important part. It looked really cool. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not as useful all the time. Like, there are plenty of spots where you can catch enemies out of bounds, but it's very rarely faster just because it takes them very long to die out of bounds compared to just shooting them. But in this instance, it just happens to save time.
I was gonna say, he is taking his sweet time over here. All right, this is the guy I wanted to
this
see.
instance,
the
how his
chainsaw,
body
there
just
we
like
go.
completely gets cut off, like cut in half through the walls. It's pretty cool. All right, the meatballs.
Here we're going to see BFG routing. A lot of times you'll see players use the BFG, the big friendly gun, because it does a lot of damage and will stun big enemies. But we try to use it to clear fodder because after we kill what are called trigger demons, we also have to kill the fodder room. Also, if you watched last year's run and you thought that maybe Marauders would actually pose a threat, they don't.
So what you're doing there is actually kind of hard to see, but the Marauder actually tries to jump in through that portal, but he gets stuck behind it into a wall, falls out of bound, and dies.
No way, dude.
So that's how we skip the Marauder.
My favorite thing about No Minute Glitches is that there's a theme of just Marauders not getting to fight.
That was a
Did we
death
get to
warp.
see the Marauder this
That
run?
is a huge death warp that skips something like 3 or 4 fights.
Wow.
And then here is going to be a weird, probably one of the weirder tricks of this run. We need to lead one of these guys over here.
A juicer.
And then we freeze him just so he doesn't hurt us. And then we do a meat hook jump and dash over what is a giant wall that's supposed to be a trigger for this fight, but we can just skip it.
And we're going to do that again, just with some ballista boosting jumps.
And here, the enemies actually spawn anyway, but the door is supposed to lock at the end. Instead, it does not. So we can just go through easy peasy.
Wow.
So to touch a little bit on some of the tech you saw there where he was hook jumping, when you hook onto an enemy, it refreshes your jump. So you can actually get 4 full jumps out of a hook. So you double jump, and then you jump while hooking, and then you can have another hook. Here he's going to reload because of all those fight triggers that we skipped. A lot of enemies are alive, and that takes us up the enemy cap. And at a certain point, enemies just won't spawn. So we have to reload checkpoint here. If we were playing Ultra Nightmare and we weren't allowed to reload, we would be we'd be doing some other stuff like killing some enemies, doing a little bit of some fights that we skip.
Yeah,
So
generally speaking, the category that's ran is Ultra Nightmare, but Ultra Nightmare is a permadeath category, which obviously is in no way marathon safe, as we have already seen. So yeah.
There we go. I was like, I'm pretty sure the game didn't crash. No, just Doom being Doom.
Doom Eternal's like, hey, I know you're on a big stage right now, so I'm gonna try and freak you out a little bit, shake your nerves up.
Just a little bit.
I think we have time for a couple donations.
You got it. I have Anonymous contributing $250 here, and they say, roses are red, doom is fun, rip and tear until it is done.
Nice.
Also, $25 here from the Lone Watchman. Always love watching and supporting GDQ. Let's hit that 1 million and get that Halo 2 run.
I think we can do one more.
One more.
Here's a $500 donation from BT Savage. $1 million is a heavy lift, but I know we can do it if we work together. Let's get that Halo 2 bonus game.
So you just saw a dash boost there. He's going to do another one again. Whenever you see him like bumping up against the wall and just dashing.
Wow. He made it.
There you go. That's what happens.
So here are the only 2 Marauders we have to fight in basically both runs. One's already dead. That is a 1 cycle you can do to him with Arbalist and Lock-on Burst. This one's a little bit more annoying because it requires 2 frags normally, so we're just going to fight him normally here, but still doesn't take that much time to kill.
Wow.
There is another method to do to kill him, but it's a little bit dangerous and it takes a lot of ammo, so we elected not to do it. There's about 1 billion ways to kill Marauders really quickly. Luckily, in this category, we don't fight Marauders that often. This is pretty much the only time we're going to fight him.
Yeah.
So,
oh, go ahead.
One thing you'll notice a lot is I kind of know where all the enemies are going to be. All the enemies are called trigger demons that you have to kill. So for instance, in this fight, you notice that those 2 Hell Knights there that are running at me, I'm just going to ignore them because they don't really matter. They do in the end, but to spawn the last wave of this fight, you have to kill everything else other than Hell Knights. And now that everything's spawned, I'm just going to do 1 BFG, and that clears all the fodder from the room.
Wicked.
And then it's going to start this next one.
So scary.
There's been a lot of research done on the fights to figure out which demons are important, which ones aren't.
What? Was that an animation cancel, or what was that?
Oh, yeah,
That
okay.
That's a new, like within the past month, a new trick called punch canceling. If you punch
That is
and
so
then,
cool. Whoa.
if you punch and then, I'm gonna do this for safety.
I can explain it if you want.
Yeah, do that, please.
So a lot of
Oh, this is a
Well-
new technique too, right?
No,
welcome to Doom Eternal speedrunning.
this is Doom Eternal.
So the BFG, it can crash the game often, very, very often. It's a
It was
very, very often.
It was
very
doing that
common
back when I was running, dude. So yeah, I see some things never change.
occurrence. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know why that happens. Some people get it more than others. Some people, like one of the co-commentators here called Xiae, he gets it all the time. Some others very rarely get it. But to continue what we're talking about, weapon switching tech, it's the most broken thing in this game, and it totally caught us by surprise. A couple of players, Sylar and Bryo, excuse me, not this bryonato, but another Bryo.
Not me.
Yeah. They came in and just found all this weapon switching tech, and they found so many crazy things that now we do fights completely differently. And punch boosting or punch switching is one of those things. You basically shoot your weapon, punch, and switch to the very weapon that you're shooting right now, and it just cancels the cooldown of that weapon for some reason. I'm getting some details wrong, but the important part is it's fast and it's awesome.
Don't forget to restart Discord, by the way, Blood.
Oh, yeah, give me a sec, sorry.
Cool. No, you're all good. You're all good.
I'll do that real quick. Apologies.
Oh, you're fine, dude. Could be hard to remember all this in the heat of the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
We're just getting some stuff figured out, folks. Hang tight.
Yeah, just for a second.
Yeah, so that was actually one of the things I was going to ask Drake, was how exactly, like obviously if anybody's familiar with Doom speedruns, there's something known as the alpha rotation, at least in Doom 2016, where you swap between like the 3 most high DPS weapons. And obviously that was a bit of a thing back when Doom Eternal came out. So one of my questions was going to be exactly how that has evolved. And it sounds like it's gotten extremely complicated.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the easy answer, the kind of meme answer is just SSG everything. SSG is like the best gun in the game. It just does a huge amount of damage.
That's
But
the
there's a lot
super
of-
shotgun.
That's the
It
super shotgun,
melts.
excuse me. Yeah, it melts everything. But there's a lot of complications with it. It depends on, like, of course, like if you're not close, then you don't want to use a super shotgun. Sometimes a super shotgun does less damage in certain situations, and like it's very complicated. So there isn't really a traditional alpha rotation, simply because the weapon switching tank is a little bit different. If I recall correctly, it's
good? Yes, please, thank you.
maybe Brian, you know a little bit more about this, but if I recall, like in Doom 2016, you can't switch between 2 weapons. You have to switch between 2, 3, or 4 weapons because the cooldowns don't like get canceled by switching weapons.
That sounds like what I remember. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's just not the case in Doom Eternal. It's either that or the cooldowns are much shorter for each weapon. So when we switch, it's not a big deal.
Wow.
But generally, there are some like rules against like you wouldn't want to do. Like for example, you typically don't want to use the ballista in fights, for example, just because it doesn't deal that much damage, and you want the plasma ammo to ballista boost around for movement and such.
I would imagine you'd want to conserve that ammo. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the game has definitely evolved as far as like this alpha rotation thing. In the very beginning, I remember watching people play and they would just switch between like ballista, SSG, like rocket launcher, and that was it. But then we
That's
found
what I
out.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just PB SSG, which PB is for the sniper, because it's like the fastest to switch to that and get more SSG shots in.
Zai, could you talk a little bit about like some of the modifications? Speaking of like alpha rotation modifications, safety is one of them. How would you adjust how you do these fights?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, I mean, look how BloodShot is playing, but don't copy him at all because this is so dangerous. Just like honest. Okay, so the one thing I can say that he's doing really well, and you should copy if you want to like improve or whatever, is stay in the air at all times. Use your movement abilities like the meat hook. Just jump, jump, jump. Like in the air, the Slayer can basically like transcend space and time, but only in the air. And
unironically, if you want to like do any challenge or any like hard content in this game, get air control of the rune and just stay in the air as much as possible, and like nothing can, some enemies can't even hurt you or path to you at all, and then others just miss every shot. So
yeah.
Yes.
Also some
next level.
Actually, I'm gonna hold that thought. There's an important trick coming up.
Yeah, so there's a cool trick that I think is used more in the base game, but does have a lot of cool uses in the DLC
cool
as well.
Environment.
But it's called yeet hooking.
Yes!
Yeet!
Yes! I missed that. That's so good.
So what that is the meat hook obviously lets you fling yourself at high speeds, and the higher your frame rate, the better these speeds. But when you slow down the game with weapon wheel, it like increases your frames, quote unquote. Not really, but that's basically how we describe it. Also, running theme, Marauders are the hardest enemy in the game.
So remember how we said Marauders or like enemies die out of bounds? Technically, that area is out of bounds. So we just prevent him from jumping up to us, and he just dies out of bounds.
That is so big brain. I love that.
We're not even sure if it's faster, but it is.
It's
funny,
safer
right?
and it's very fun.
It's fun.
It looks great, so that's got to save a few seconds, just like right there.
Whoops.
Indeed.
It doesn't matter.
So to elaborate a little bit on the yeet hook, when you hold left or right, the hook will just carry you along, and like BloodShot said, it's frame rate dependent. So if you notice on the top right, our FPS never actually exceeds 250. That's in the rules so that players with better computers don't have an advantage. A lot of things in this game are FPS dependent. We might actually cover some of those things, like a lot of things. We like to joke that like this game is basically modern Half-Life because
in particular, one element that's very hard to notice is enemy AI is actually like faster and tracking is better at higher FPS. So if you're playing at higher FPS, the enemies are actually just not obnoxiously harder, but noticeable enough. So
yeah. Also, like bunny hopping is also easier.
by the way,
XD.
LOL.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Stay out of bounds.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Half-Life.
dude.
Dude, that looks great out of Gary's mod.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Gears, man.
Just preventing the spawn,
Marauders.
keeping him out of bounds so he takes damage.
So
that is
we
good.
actually get introduced to a new enemy over here. That Hell Knight we just ran past actually looks a little different. He's possessed by a spirit, and that spirit buffs enemies. They don't get faltered. They possess, like when the spirit leaves the body of one of them, it'll enter another one, and they're just a lot harder to kill. They take more damage. They also deal a little bit more damage. What he just did there was another dash boost to get the height, and there's actually, that dash boost is actually really tight. There's a tiny hole in the invisible wall around that ledge, and he just tried to like squeeze right into it. Yeah, that's ballista boosting movement for you.
Also, what I did there, that punch block for some reason is always active, so you just dash into it. The game lets you continue, so you don't actually have to fight anything.
I think we might
Sorry,
have
I'm just
time.
in awe right now. I'm just watching this like. I mean, you just casually charged up that charge shot the whole way and like B-hopped it to keep your momentum and then annihilated that whole fight. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I am noticing.
Some notes on bunny hopping actually. If you're a source player, bunny hopping has some weird properties in this game where like the higher you are, or rather the faster you are falling, let me try again. Vertical speed is converted when you hit a bunny hop. So if you're like falling really fast, that speed will be converted forward when you hit the bunny hop. So we use that in a few instances to, mainly in the base campaign, to charge speed. But in this game, sometimes you'll find that we another E-hook into a death row. We'll use that sometimes to like fall down a really tall shaft and then bounce immediately out of it and gain a lot of
Almost forgot I need
speed.
to reload this.
Yeah.
Spawn limits are really annoying in the DLC, but in particular this level, like even sometimes casual players would skip through stuff that you're allowed to skip through, and all of a sudden, even if the fight wouldn't softlock, the fights will just take way too long because only 4 enemies can spawn at a time, so they'll spawn fodder, then the one demon you're supposed to kill, and it'll go on for something like 10 minutes if you don't reload.
If I recall the exact number, the cap is 32 demons, if I remember correctly, but there's some complications, like some things are considered demons, some others. Weird little details.
Okay, so this fight is probably the riskiest fight in the entire DLC, so good luck.
Oh, good luck then.
And Bloodshot's not playing it safe. Kill the totem, I beg you.
Yeah,
Oh,
these
totems
totems are
directly.
gonna make enemies faster, and also they make them attack faster, so that just naturally kind of increases their damage output. Yeah, keeping him alive there. I mean, I haven't even played this DLC, and I can say, and my first thought was like, please get rid of the totem, please. Especially with these big boss
right
enemies,
next to
bruh.
What is he?
Bruh.
Woo!
I guess to explain just some of the basics of Doom combat, by the way, if you're not familiar with it for whatever reason, you obviously want to stay moving. That's the primary thing. We also have 2 dashes we can use to kind of help us navigate around a little bit. And then as well, enemies are going to drop health when they die, so that incentivizes us to keep moving forward into them and like getting those health pickups. Coating enemies with our flamethrower as well will also allow them to drop armor. So we always want to be just kind of moving at enemies.
Oh, something quick we should mention here. He's
Okay, there we
purposefully taking damage here for the rune we picked up.
Oh,
Okay, took too much damage. So remember that rune back when we got that Marauder stuck out of bounds at the beginning of this level and just kind of died because we were shooting at it? We picked up a rune while we were raiding for the Marauder. That rune lets us deal extra damage with our Blood Punch, which is a weapon in this game. It lets us deal extra damage when our HP is below 75. There's some glitches and details with it, but it's a lot of damage in this patch. So
Is there like a percentage that it bonus that it gives, or?
So
It depends
It's-
sometimes, but
So basically, it's supposed to do 2 times damage if you're below 75. The patch we're running on actually has a glitch where, for some reason, I forgot this. It's you have to be below 65, but it does triple damage.
Wow.
So
Okay.
weird.
a lot of weird stuff with that. There you are.
even then, like when I was recording some of the data values, it was strange. Like some demons took way more, some demons took a little less.
Getting the totem this time. Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Don't get Drake started on the data values.
Oh,
Or
I
do.
don't
No.
There are spreadsheets. This is the point. That's the only thing you need to know. There are spreadsheets out there. They're long. They're dense. They took a long
What?
time.
I feel like that's all you need to say too. You know, like there are
Yeah.
spreadsheets. Like that tells me everything I need to know. Let this be a note, by the way. If you want to be a good speedrunner, get good at spreadsheets. Like they are so important for high-level speedrunning. I mean, I know in my time with Titanfall 2, I've made like 7 or 8 of them. So definitely a good thing.
Oh god. Here it is, the self-damage.
Setting up
Gotta
for
get low
this.
enough.
Oh, that's annoying.
Get down,
no.
Mr. President.
All right. So normally you can kill this guy in literally just 2 blood punches. I got ridiculously bad luck there with the spawns, but that's fine.
The key to the same button for blood punching is the same button to glory kill, and he glory killed the demon behind the.
Oh,
Wait, wait, what?
So that guy died out of bounds. By accident.
Sometimes that can happen.
That was intended, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. First try.
Didn't you read the spreadsheet?
The other thing about so spirits with their spirit buff, they'll go to the next available enemy unless there's no available enemy left. So if you just kill everything before they get a chance to possess anything, they just die on their own. So you don't actually have to worry about killing them. I would like fuel. There we go.
Oh,
to
and another
watch
thing
that
to
back
explain
to see
too,
how
real
it
quick.
happened.
Chainsaw kills give you a ton of ammunition, and they're a resource you can use too, indicated in the bottom right with a little fuel. Small enemies can be killed with 1 fuel, and then big enemies usually require 3.
And the important detail is that when you spend more fuel per enemy, you don't get more ammo. You get the same amount of ammo. So we time our chainsaws specifically for that to kill really big enemies, so we don't have to waste ammo or like a bunch of time.
So the gimmick with this area is we're supposed to follow this dog who's protecting us from the fog. We're just gonna go in through the back exit.
My doggo.
Literally, this is supposed to be like a secret like exit you're supposed to go after you do all the fights. But the devs just left that area open. So we just go into the back and we don't have to fight a bunch of stuff.
As much as they love invisible walls, they forgot.
You
this
cannot pet the dog, unfortunately.
How, you knew I was gonna ask too.
one.
Jeez.
You knew.
If anybody saw the Shadow Colossus run, you would accidentally punch the dog if you tried to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, do not do that. Do not do that.
Ida.
I just watched Cosmic just vanquish about 4 dancing robots in a very brutal way. I don't need any more heartbreak today.
So
So
upcoming
here we're
is
just going to Middle Cup jump here. This fight is really annoying.
BEA beautiful.
he's actually
Bingo.
looking down here just to increase his frame rate
Yeah.
because guess what? The BFG does more damage when you're frame
The
rate.
golden eye strategy.
I am shocked.
The Golden Eye strategy, I love that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, definitely.
So there's... Oh, did he not die? Did he? Okay. So there's supposed to be a spirit that possesses his Arachnotron, but spawn limits sort of are acting up, even though like everything else is spawning. Spirits in particular just like don't do well with spawn limits, but that works for us because it means the spirit's just not going to spawn right away, so we can just kill this. We can just kill the stuff without worrying about it.
Nice.
Spawn limits can actually sometimes be hilarious in a soft lock. Specifically in the DLCs, sometimes they made mistakes with the spirits and they can possess demons in other fights. So
Yeah, get down, Mr. President.
there are examples where a spirit will just like the trail will just shoot out into the sky out to another fight and the run will be over. You'll have to reset.
Yep.
So that's why we also have to manage spawn limits.
This is slowly becoming like the Murphy's Law of Doom Eternal.
Very
runs.
much so.
And Blood, you are persevering, dude. You are pushing through. I very much admire it.
So here
is
we're
this
gonna
a boss?
fight. Here we're gonna fight some boxes as a boss.
Whoa.
Why are we fighting boxes? Good question.
Because they're not an orb.
This is cool.
It's a
Well,
really
there's
good
an orb
question.
inside, I guess.
What the hell?
This is their true
Shall you
self.
know
They're
what to
coming
do?
out. This is
We could
is
probably
fun.
do like 2 or 3 donations.
Yes.
You got it. We received $100 from Crisis Angel Wolf
Hey!
saying, the BloodShot9001 is firing. The BloodShot9001 is firing. I'm so proud of you, Bloodshot, for all of the hard work you've done for speedrunning. 2 years of speedrunning and 2 years at SGDQ. How cool is that? You are an incredible person and you're doing incredible. Good luck with both of the DLCs. And $10 here from DoomGuy46. Hey, Bloodshot. Great to see you running these 2 awesome expansions again. It's been so much fun doing thumbnails for you over the last year. Best of luck with the run. And as you asked me to remind you, play the game as intended, you nerd.
Thanks, Doom Guy. Also, shoutouts to Crisis. Best wife ever.
Aw.
wow.
If anybody was here last year, she was not my wife, so that has been a very... Despite
What a
everything that's
flex,
happened
what a
in the
flex.
past... a little bit. Alright, so these are new enemies called Bloodmakers. They have this shield which prevents all damage until they're firing. We can kind of manipulate them to start firing at us, and then they die in one shot.
You're just
they did not-
casually headshotting these dudes, by the way. Like,
We're CSGO players,
you know.
dude.
okay.
Well, you know, some of us are.
This environment looks sick, by the way.
Have we
I love
explained the
I love the art
story?
direction in this so far.
There are demons.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we haven't explained. The story is we like murdering demons, and that's it. We murder demons.
So here we're gonna do a series of movements, and hopefully this dash boost is nice. It is
Energy
not.
shield.
Come on, dash boost.
Oh my word!
This
This is
looks
not-
hard.
It's not usually this hard.
Come on.
You know,
Weapon wheel.
I was gonna see if I can get this this guy for health. There we go.
Oh,
So actually,
Okay.
upcoming, there's going to be like a bunch of tricks in a row. Like this level's nuts. Like we literally do like 4 crazy tricks in a row, and I think it's like we do this dash boost, we do a yeet into a rock that flies into the air, or a yeet bounce, or a
What the heck?
a younce,
so
if you will.
Give us a dash boost.
I'm getting so memed right now.
It's actually never happened before. This is our first never happened before.
All right, take two.
I was gonna say I'm doing that for safety, but apparently not safe enough. Come on.
Weapon
Oh
wheel?
my word. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Hold on.
So you can make the dash boost easier by weapon
There
wheeling.
we go.
Oh, there we go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So this is the first trick.
Oh, that was cool. Okay.
So what we did there was we landed near the wall to despawn everything behind us so that we don't have to worry about that. Also,
Here's the ounce.
this lets us go over an invisible wall. So we don't have to do some weird platforming.
Did you just yeet hook yourself into geometry?
Into a
got slung up
yeah.
like that? Wow.
Here comes
And
another
if we do it right.
Souvlaki yeet.
Whoa!
So here we skip a trigger that's supposed to spawn demons. We carry it into a B-hop.
Pillarmans?
Oh, I didn't have two dashes. We do have to get up there because there's a BFG pickup there. So if I do some B-hops, maybe I can get this. This is really annoying to get with the backups.
Oh, nice.
then-
Wow.
Nice.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Pillarmans!
I knew you were going to be excited when I got that.
Yes!
That series of ballista boost there is a lot tougher than it looks, to the point where it always frustrates me when I miss it, and it frustrates me when I get it, because I never understand how I do or don't get it.
The speed in this is just so insane. Just keep
Upcoming
going.
is supposed to be a tough fight. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Nice.
So we set ourselves up to yeet hook off of this guy into this slope, and then woo!
Oh my god, dude, I thought you were gonna clip.
So also fun, just the only level in the DLCs that tends to be really nice with despawns is this level. Everything below it despawns, which we don't have to worry about if we're loading checkpoint, but especially for Ultra Nightmare, it is very nice. That should work, yeah. Right. All right, here we're set. Oh, did he not get possessed? Oh no, he is. Okay, just took a while. There we go.
BFG destroys the shield of Bloodmakers, so we don't have to worry about that. And here we're sitting at an ammo pool underneath the Bloodmakers. When you headshot them, they drop a bunch of ammo, and we're gonna sit under that ammo pool and just unload on the Spirit Tyrant.
And it's time for the Destroyer Blade showcase.
Yeah,
so
unironically, the D-Blade has just become like the best weapon for just all the DLCs, I think, or just all of Doom as a whole.
So Overdrive, the one that he just picked up right here, actually gives you infinite ammo for most weapons. And he's
That was the yellow power up on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Destroyer Blade, for folks that don't know, is a specific upgrade for the ballista.
That is correct.
And we are coming up on the final boss
Of Tag 1.
of Tag 1.
Sammy
So
boy?
I'm going to reload checkpoint to set up a little bit of RNG. The boss tends to teleport away if you go into the fight without reloading. This boss fight's going to be weird. This boss fight was very infamous and kind of still is for being probably the hardest boss in all of Doom Eternal.
Ooh.
And it's going to be interesting to show what you can do with it.
Just in case folks didn't know, we have Ancient Gods 2 coming up right after this, so there is more Doom. This is not the end of Doom.
So after phase 1 starts phase 2. If you BFG right before phase 2 starts, it hurts / kills any combination of these guys that get possessed, which means we don't actually have to fight them possessed. This is actually like the best combination because we want to take out the one that goes for the Mancubus first anyway. So now we have this guy left.
Mancubus has more HP.
And then if you just bunny hop while using this microwave beam to kill him, you're basically safe.
So now we actually have some time for donations.
Yeah, this is a auto scroller, but it's a very fun auto scroller. So if you have donations, go for them.
Okay, yeah, I have a $50 donation here from Buyers. Hey kid, your favorite brother donating during a GDQ Doom run again. Don't worry, I've mashed out a lot of Shenrons to wish your runs go well today. Glad you've kept up with speedrunning. Keep going fast. and keep Temi in Kuleg.
Sorry to interrupt. What is happening?
Oh, I'm hopping on a Cacodemon.
He also
Is this a strat?
No. No amount of killing these. You have to survive this for 1 minute. So it's just easier to put these guys in a glory kill state and to hop on one of them.
Let me just quickly explain some that we need to explain. Like, he lowered his HP again on purpose. He's gonna set up one of those blood punch kills on the boss right here. That's why he lowered his HP.
Oh my god.
Just in case you wonder why the boss spawns and then just instantly dies.
What is this strategy called?
Pet Caco.
Aw. Oh, that's okay. Oh my god. BloodShot? Okay.
Oh, I missed
Making
one.
me a little nervous.
There we go.
There you go.
Unless I
Wow.
get something here. Oh, I might get something here. I'm not sure. If I get something here. Nope. So we do a little thing there to charge Destroyer Blade before these guys spawn, just to hit this guy on the left before he gets possessed, to do some extra damage. And then we do this to stun them, not to do damage.
Another little bit of weapon
Oh,
switching
nice.
tech. He tried to chainsaw there just to cancel a BFG. There's a long cooldown when you BFG. You can't switch weapons. Kind of similar to Super Missile in the Metro Prime, where you switch the scan visor.
And that's time.
Wow,
Really likes
GG,
to make
dude.
kills.
He was my servant.
Yeah, this is a very interesting run. And honestly, the final boss is of this DLC is a very neat little capstone of just weird tricks that can go on.
Yeah, well, I mean, GG, dude. That definitely threw everything I could at you. Well, let me tell you.
Is now your own.
Okay, so right now we're just going to take a quick break to set up for the second DLC. So we're right back.
Yep.
See you soon.
Thank you all so much for that run. That was fantastic. I have a $250 donation here from Azoden, who says, roses are red, violets are blue. Donate $1 million and see Halo 2. Thank you. That was fantastic. And while BloodShot9001 prepares for the Ancient Gods 2 NMG Nightmare, we have someone prepared to speak with you about some prizes. Here we go.
Prolix, you know me too well because I am always prepared to talk about all of the amazing prizes that we have. Now, Doom Eternal started an entirely new prize block, so we have a ton of great prizes for you all to win by donating. And all you need to do is make sure you get at least the minimum donation amount for each of these prizes in before the end of Return to Castle Wolfenstein a little bit later tonight. But get those donations in even sooner because, like Prolix mentioned, if we hit $1 million by the time that Pokemon is over, we will have that bonus Halo 2 run in the marathon. And trust me, you want to see that. Mr. Monopoly is going to do some absolutely absurd things in that run. Let's kick it off with this beautiful Pokeball amigurumi sent to us by Ashley Brim. I love this. It's, a hand-knitted Pokeball around a very strong, durable core. So, you can really kind of toss this around, play with it. It is a fun prize to have, and it's only a $5 minimum donation. So make sure to get your donations in for this lovely Pokeball. Now, from Prince of Spirits, we have these absolutely adorable Snom pins. We've got 3 different Snoms featuring the regular Snom as well as some alternate colors for it. It's absolutely adorable. Snom is objectively the best Pokemon. Even when it's upside down, even when it's on its side, Snom is adorable. Everyone should love Snom. It's a $15 minimum donation until the end of Castle Wolfenstein, but get those donations in now. Remember, you don't have to specifically donate for that bonus game. It's just going to happen when we reach $1 million in total donations. So you know what that means? You can put those donations towards any number of great incentives. Incentives like naming some of the Pokemon that the Pokemon runners are going to be picking up in that black and white race coming up a little bit later. Let me tell you right now, I believe that currently the Zekrom is named Keizaron. And I think that's only by about $150 or so. Just saying, if anyone had some money they wanted to throw around, just putting that out there. If not, hey, don't worry about it because there's some more great prizes to talk about. From Doikum, we have a beautiful set of Unova starter Pokemon here. And I'm going to, attempt to do their starter cries as well. I skipped Gen 5, so I might not be entirely up to date on them. They're $15 minimum donation. You get all 3 of the great starters. You, of course, get Oshawott, which I believe goes something like, Oshawott! You get the Tepig. Everyone loves Tepig. Tepig. And, of course, you get Vooligen. Hey, I'm Vooligen, and welcome to the marathon. Love you, Vooligen. No, of course, you get the Snivy to go along with them. Absolutely beautiful set of Pokemon. $15 minimum donation for the set of 3. Make sure to get those donations in. From Iggy Zig, I do not know how Iggy finds these prizes. Please, somebody help me figure this out. We have this absolutely lovely Pokemon Encyclopedia artwork. So this is an Ash and a Pikachu sprite from like the Gen 1 games, kind of printed, painted, whatever you want to say, on top of an old encyclopedia page. And I love the effect it has. It's so weird, but at the same time, it's so striking. Maybe it's a metaphor for how important Pokemon has become, in our collective culture. Maybe it's just a cool piece of art. Either way, it's a $15 minimum donation. Thank you so much, Iggy Zig, for sending it out to us. Make sure to get those donations in and to get them in soon. Everyone, there are so many amazing prizes we have. Now, as you might have heard, we are setting up for the second Doom DLC run, which means that Doom is not done. And we cannot let that stand, because if you are the Doom Slayer, you must rip and tear until it is done. That is what it's all about. As you can see in this beautiful Mark of the Doomslayer cross stitch here, you have the Mark of the Doomslayer. Little hard to see, but in tiny text below it, it does say rip and tear until it is done. It's a $15 minimum donation. It was sent to us out by Cerber Puppy. Thank you so much, Cerber Puppy. Cerber Puppy, by the way, S tier pet in Final Fantasy. Not quite good as a Marauder Otter. Not quite good as the Doomslayer, but definitely up there. Thank you so much. Make sure to get this. By the way, the frame itself of this hoop is painted black. It's got a really, really striking image to it. I absolutely love it. So cool. Make sure to get those donations in. We have so many amazing prizes, like this Eeveelution painting. You got, of course, the sleeping Eevee, and then all of the Eeveelutions surrounding it. It is wonderful. It's a $20 minimum donation from Carolyn Brown. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for sending this in and painting it. Come on. Which Eevee is your favorite, chat? Personally, I'm all about Glaceon. Glaceon is my favorite. I mean, there's not a Dragon-type Eevee yet. I think that'd be my favorite. But until then, all about the ice types, all about the Glaceon. Let us know, and more importantly, get a $20 minimum donation in so you could take home this Eeveelution painting yourself. Now, we have another great Pokemon-themed prize here. We have this absolutely adorable Cubone plushie. I love this. It was sent to us by Trevor Stanchfield. It's a $25 minimum donation. Beautiful Cubone here. Comes with its own bone, so it can use bone meringue as much as it wants. And one of the coolest little features I've seen, the bone helmet that the Cubone wears is actually just removable. You can slide that right back on, and hey, now it's a Cubone again. It's absolutely adorable. Super huggable plush. Huge shout-outs to Trevor for sending it out to us. It looks great. Now, from Pincushion Cat Plushies, we have a trio of absolutely amazing prizes. For a minimum $10 donation, we have a pair of Ditto plushies. They're available in Ditto's default color, as well as a shiny Ditto color. We also have an absolutely beautiful Eevee plush, as well as a Sylveon plush. Unfortunately, don't have them here right now. Had a little bit of trouble with UPS getting them out here, but you should definitely go over to gamesdonequick.com. Check out the tracker. Check out the prizes link. It's somewhere up here, and you can see great pictures of all of them. The Sylveon and the Eevee they just look so soft and adorable. Eevee in particular has a big floofy mane that I absolutely love. We had the Ditto plushes at a previous event. I think the last event we had in person. And my boss, Subichu, actually saw them, ran up to them, and started hugging one, chanting Metamon. I had to convince her to put it down. It was the best endorsement I've frankly ever seen of a plushie. You should definitely get some donations in for them. They are amazing. And thank you so much to Pincushion Cat Plushies for sending them out to us. Now, of course, we have our grand prizes. We've got 2 of them. They're amazing. If you haven't already gotten $250 donated into the marathon cumulatively, hey, get in a $25 donation. You're going to be entered into everything that I just talked about, as well as both of our amazing grand prizes. We have your choice. of one of 18 amazing different replicas from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. Shout outs to Heroic Replicas and Dave at Heroic Replicas. You got so many amazing choices. Head over to gamesdonequick.com. Check out the prize link. It's going to show you what all of those choices are and link you to a great Imager album with all of them visible right there. As well as right behind my head, we have this absolutely amazing Skytech Gaming Mark 9 PC. This thing is an absolute beast. It's got a 3070 Ti graphics card. It's got everything you could want. And if you'll notice, you haven't been hearing it running. This thing has been running silently all day. It's absolutely amazing. $250 cumulatively gets you entered into both of those amazing grand prizes. And as always, if you're ever curious about any upcoming prize in the event, you can head over to GamesDoneQuick.com. Check out the tracker. It's going to tell you about all of the important information. The upcoming speedruns we have, like more Doom. What more could you want than more Doom? Or Pokemon, or Halo. There's so many great games. Don't go anywhere tonight. You want to check them all out. Upcoming incentives, like what that Zekrom is still named. Hopefully it's still Keizaron. I'm just saying, maybe. And of course, all of the amazing upcoming prizes that you can win by donating to the marathon. I think we are just about ready to get back with that second DLC. So Prolix, why don't you take it away?
Thank you for that awesome rundown of all the prizes we have available right now. As we continue setting up here for the Ancient Gods 2 NMG Nightmare, I'll continue reading some of your donation comments. $25 here from RG Daxter. Give those demons what they deserve, Bloodshot. And I have a $250 donation here from James. Rip and tear until it is done. $500 here from AZ Frew, chiming in about something I happen to be aware of. Their comment, I said I would donate $1 for each like I received on my birthday tweet. I got way more than I could reasonably give, so here's what I can spare. Much love to everyone that makes GDQ as special as it is. I've never been a part of anything cooler. Thank you, KZ Frew. And now, again, it is time for our next run. I know you're excited, so am I. Let's return it to BloodShot9001 for Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods 2.
Hello. Good to be back after such a long time. I am Bloodshot. This is my couch. bryonato, who used to run this game. DrakePHOSE, who is a top-tier router, and Xiae, who is probably the best UN runner of Doom Eternal. And joining me for this part is my cat Ezio. He decided to stop by this time, so.
Aw.
Quicker summary. This is going to be a quote-unquote New Game Plus type of playthrough because the DLC starts you with everything you had in the base game. So a lot of tricks are going to happen real quick, and we'll try our best to explain them.
If you missed the first part, we do a lot of explanations there. So the first part was the Ancient Gods Part 1.
All right. I will count it down in a bit.
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot.
All right. Countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
We're going to start off with a little bit of a yeet. We're going to do it off some of these dudes.
This environment is excellent. Wow.
So a lot of stuff's going to happen in this next room. I'm actually going to grab a safety checkpoint already because there's a very weird trick here.
So what's supposed to happen? What's supposed to happen in this area is that we do this fight. That wall over there in the back with the red-orange wall or red-orange demonic wall is supposed to open up, and then we do some other stuff. Instead, we're going to skip that. And we're going to try and get this trick. Let's see if it works.
I will let you know if it worked, and then we'll explain it. It worked.
Hey.
So normally what you're supposed to do is you go through this first fight, which is still active, by the way. And when you do, the game lets you... the game is going to let you... Sorry.
Let me explain it.
Take your time at 4 HP, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically, we were supposed to do a fight and then lead one of those dogs. Like if you watched the Ancient Gods Part 1, you saw... There it is.
Sorry.
If you saw the Ancient Gods Part 1, you saw that a dog jumped into a torch in one of those fights in the Blood Swamps. We're basically going to do the same thing here, except this time we just skipped the entire thing. You saw no dog jump into any torch and start the fight. That's because we used the Hell Knight, the frozen Hell Knight that he chopped in half with the Destroyer Blade, to start the fight instead. We don't exactly know why that happens, but our best theory is that like the way they coded it is that any body part of any demon, if it falls into the torch, then the fight will start. And we're just using a Hell Knight instead. There's some problems with that theory, but it's not really important, and hopefully it works again.
Wow. That is...
It's hilarious.
That is so weird.
I love this trick
That is
so
so
much.
weird, dude.
That's my favorite trick in probably all the DLCs, just because of how dumb it is.
Yeah, so silly. It's
I
great.
mean, it was not consistent before this, but I recently found a consistent setup. It's really
Yeah, I think you found a consistent setup like maybe a week ago to freeze the Hell
Oh, it's
Knight.
fresh. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
We knew about it for a while. Somebody found it accidentally.
Oh, that pick
Why are
is
you-
scary
Oh,
with the
there's
buff.
still something.
Don't do that if you're trying to beat this game safely in Ultra Nightmare. Don't go for blood punches
there
on
we go.
pinkies.
Oh my gosh. Because it's not just the totem buff that's up right now, it's also the Screecher buff, and those two together will annihilate you in a second.
What is the Screecher buff?
Oh,
by
we
the
can't
way-
explain that yet. We'll
Sorry.
hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Because the first fight is still up, we're actually about to meet a new enemy. Hi, a new enemy. For some reason, there's a kill box there that only despawns after the first fight is done, even though you're not supposed to like skip any of this stuff. So he just dies.
Because he's out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
Give me a
So
sec.
what we're gonna do here is a kind of a clip where we're gonna grab the monkey bar from behind an invisible wall. There's an invisible wall
clip?
right there. Yeah,
No, he didn't mean it.
it's a clip. It's a monkey bar clip. This is the only instance that we've ever found where you can do a monkey bar clip. There are other types of clips in this game to go out of bounds, but they're illegal in this category. But that one's illegal. It's the only instance, and it's a minor time save.
So that was like an inbound clip or something like that
Yeah,
almost?
yeah.
Or?
Yes.
Interesting.
Basically, we're like
Interesting.
grabbing the monkey bar with a weird hitbox. That's why he looked down while he was grabbing the monkey bar. The hitbox just kind of works out that you can grab the monkey bar through the wall, through the invisible wall. And then he flies deeper into the building to hit a trigger to despawn the invisible walls.
Okay.
So here we're supposed to go somewhere else and do some platforming. I don't like that. So instead I just jump on this wall.
This is just as easy as it looks, by the way.
As you
It's
do. As you do.
Incredibly easy. And the funny thing is, like, there's a fight, like a trapped fight there, that spawns an invisible wall, and then the invisible wall also despawns anyway. So, like, they only lock you in there for the fight. Everything else is
Yeah.
kind of free game there.
Oh,
So actually, I think
Hey, doggo.
I think we have time for a couple donations.
If I
Yes,
can
we
ask
do.
one question real quick.
Oh, no.
Bloodshot, how much money to pet the cat?
Any amount will do.
Donate for Bloodshot to pet the cat.
Absolutely.
Fantastic question. Okay, here's a $250 donation from Xiae Loves Bloodshot9001. Is it true? Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Thank you. And, $200 here from Bowser. I may be a bit biased, but always love seeing Doom at GDQ. Good luck, Bloodshot, and let's get that Halo 2 run.
Big love to Bowser.
Bowser's a
What a
legend.
big love to Bowser.
What do you think? One more?
Yeah.
All right. $250 here from Kovac. So great to see these Doom Eternal runs with commentary. There's a ton of nuance in the advanced tech, and it's a fantastic game that lets skilled players like Bloodshot show off. Smiley face. Good luck in Tag 2.
Thanks, Kovac. Kovac's really cool. He actually made an overlay that shows all of our inputs as we do them. So that's just a really cool thing that he did
rad.
recently.
So he just
that's
picked up
pretty
the...
Kovac.
Yeah,
Sorry,
here we go.
So he just picked up the Sentinel Hammer, which is a new weapon in this DLC. When you use it, it stuns enemies and it drops ammo. So if you see him just fly into the air and hammer time on the ground, that's what that is. That's what he just picked up.
I'm excited.
Also, shout outs to Bowser. I don't think we've mentioned Bowser that much in this broadcast yet, but he's
We
one
don't
of
need to. I'm just kidding.
he's probably
joke.
one of the most important people in our community, and shout outs to him for for chiming in. He's done so much from even
done-
spreadsheets, my friends. Spreadsheets
I
from
gotta-
Bowser.
As much as it hurts, he is the best player. in
I would
Doom.
agree with that. Yeah.
It's so cool because I've known Bowser for like 7 or 8 years just through a mutual friend. One of my good friends, Monkey Glands, who's another Twitch streamer. I just met him in his chat, and so like I did like a double take when I saw that he was becoming like one of the best Doom players in the whole world. I was like, that Bowser? I was like, I know that guy. So yeah, shout outs to Bowser. He's really swell dude.
Yeah, he has multiple records in a lot of games. Like he's quite the legend.
So right there we did a skip. We skipped meeting a new enemy. We're about to do another one. It's a little bit.
He found this skip right here.
Yeah, Bowser found this swaggy little skip here.
Yes.
Yes. I love it so
Oh, yes.
much.
That is
Hey, buddy.
definitely swaggy for
Hey,
sure.
buddy, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, that's right. That's fine. You're okay, Ezio.
Patronizing them, stop.
All right, so
Yeah,
here we're
deserve
gonna have to. If you did not catch the last run, because we're skipping so much crap, there's a enemy spawn limit of like 32, 33, and we're just reloading to circumvent that. It takes a little bit of time, but that's fine.
Also,
It takes
just
a little bit of time, but like you're gonna see something like 10 to 20 enemies in the next arena alone, and if spawn limits are happening, only 3 to 4 will spawn at a time. So this is much faster.
Also, just to touch on something that just happened. Before he entered this snowy mountain area, he did a skip. That was just another fight trigger skip. He just flew over the trigger with a dash boost to skip that area. Oopsie.
There we go.
So I think we have
I noticed-
time for... Sorry, go ahead, Bri.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think we have time for 2 donations, I think.
You got it. Well, I am a sucker for reading anything on air that might raise more money for charity. So here's
Let's go.
Jayco with $25. 5 tickets for the Halo 2 train. If this makes it live, I'll add 15 more. Choo choo. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And then Arrow with $25 as well. This Doom Eternal DLC run is insane. Rip and tear. Thanks to the staff and good luck to all the runners.
So another skip with Bowser's footprint on it.
Oh, this is probably one of the coolest ones of the
Here we go.
So
All right, let's see it.
hold on. So we need to get a precise dash boost. So we try to do it with this weapon wheel.
Slope boost on flashbacks, please no.
Oh man, I am bad
It's
at
not
this
it's not to increase the height. It's actually just to time it. We want to dash right as we touch the ramp.
Whoa.
right. And this should be fine.
That was
Hold on.
so-
Wait.
Now,
was
Close. That was so close.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to
okay.
reload.
I
Checkpoint.
might need to reload. So we could probably do a few more donations.
What a setup.
All right, here is $25 from a Funkmaster Dunk. Doom Eternal is the best game. MSF is the best cause. Watching one while supporting the other is the best thing to do. And a Green Mario here with a $50 donation. A haiku. Doom is eternal, as is a big friendly gun, raising heck in heck. Thank you, Green Mario. $25 from Big People School, Rip and Tear, but for charity this time.
Oh heck, there is that a escalation there? Escalation skip, eh? Oh heck. Sorry. myself.
This Canadian came out.
There we go.
That looks good. Nicely
There we
done,
go.
dude. I
So
would
that
imagine that is as
skips,
hard as it looks.
It's pretty. That's the easy version. So take that for what it is.
Yeah. You can actually do that without the hammer.
Yeah, Mr. Bowser found how to do it without the hammer, I believe, and then somebody else decided, no, that's too hard, which it was too hard. Oh, this is gonna be annoying.
Sometimes, yeah. That happens. So he's actually standing in specific spots there, once again, to manipulate the Bloodmakers into attacking him. So unfortunately, this wall that Prowler is behind is one of the rare walls in the game that actually like absorbs bullets.
I did not know you could blood
you
punch
just-
them.
Yeah, what?
By the way, there's a giant tentacle in this video game.
This is just like Half-Life. You weren't kidding.
Shout outs to Half-Life players. You'll be right at home, fellas. Come on by.
Baron's hopping right out of the waterfall.
I'm gonna do this for safety.
So upcoming is another trick inspired by, or not inspired, that is a result of the weapon switching tech and discoveries by
Renaissance.
By Brio and Xiae.
This is probably the hardest trick. So give me like a second.
Oh, okay.
So
we need silence for this one.
So he's gonna set up a dash boost here, and then he's gonna complement it with something else. Here we go.
Oh, wait. I think I can get this.
What?
Yes.
I'm sweating.
Bloodshot?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes!
Oh my god!
I just witnessed!
So that is called pause boosting.
Excuse me.
Also, level's done.
Shoot.
So what happens is if you shoot the Arbalist or the Destroyer Blade and then pause the game and then swap weapon mods and then exit the game will automatically shoot a normal ballista shot for you repeatedly for up to like 7 or 8 shots. So you can combine that with dash boosts and jumps to get ridiculous height. And so we do that to skip a lot of weird platforming that we were supposed to do but didn't want to do.
I feel like this is a flashback to last year, but my mouth is just agape.
And the funny thing about that is you can do that without the hammer, and it's not a big deal if you do it with the hammer, because like we don't actually need the hammer for.
Yeah, I don't know how that was like improv, by the way. They hammer like he normally nails it. Like if he gets the dash boost and the pause boost timing, he normally nails it. He didn't get it that time, and then I thought the trick was gonna fail, and then he busts out the hammer. I'm like, oh, he's the god gamer for a reason.
That was so close.
How much time does that save?
Also, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather not say how much time that saves.
How Bloodshot? How much time?
Take a guess. Take a guess.
If you do it first try, it's like 2 seconds.
Okay.
But it's cool, right?
By the way,
it's cool.
Like here, running Fiend with NMG, by the way. There's supposed to be a Marauder that spawns here.
we're just standing in a spawn location and he just fails to spawn. This has been patched out, unfortunately, so we have to down patch
Fight's over
for this to work, but this is a trick we can do.
Poor Marauders. They really don't ever get a chance.
Yep.
I am pretty happy about that.
Yeah. So I actually think we have time for a few donations.
Yeah, a few donations. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, those donations have gone completely off the rails here, thanks to something in BloodShot9001's house. Geological, the $50 donation. Pet the cat, please. Wodan, $25. Pet the cat, $25 pet the cat train. Next stop, Halo 2. Then Tatsu, $25 pet the cat. Justin Halpin, $25 pet cat, please and thank you.
I can guarantee you that my wife is next to me petting that cat, and I think she's trying to bring him over for me to pet. Yeah.
And this one's for bryonato, $25 from Pingu. Shout out to the marble with the humming man inside.
Shout outs to the marble with the screaming man inside. Yep.
Shout outs to Bowser for this pinky only taking a few blood punches, right, Bowser?
I did mess that up, but like, so we just met the Stone Imp there, and that was it. They're weak to everything. I'm sorry, they're strong against everything except for full auto, but full auto is a very slow weapon mod, so we just shield bash them instead, and they're coded to instantly die to that, so whatever.
This got patched out, so unfortunately can't do it in modern patches, but we use it now.
Oh.
Keep donating to pet the cat, by the way.
Oh, by the way, here's another dash boost that we're going to do to skip a couple of fights.
Oh, wait, what?
Oopsie.
Excuse me? You know what? I'm going to take a redo on that one. That was weird.
Take a mulligan on that one.
I think this is a good time to explain a little bit how dash boosts work. You notice that when he was doing that pause boosting at the end of the last level that we were at, he like walked off like an edge and then like weapon wheeled down to what? Sorry, weapon wheeled off the edge. This is because dash boosting, the geometry you need for dash boosting is any slope that leads up into a a vertical surface, and you can achieve that actually by.
Wow.
You can achieve that actually with any edge. Every edge in this game is has a sloped, has kind of like a curvature over the end of it. And the way the geometry works out, you can actually dash boost off the edges, and they're actually quite powerful because the slope is quite, the ramp is quite tall on edges. And that setup was discovered by me.
That was really sick. That's a cool trick.
So reloading here sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so for this checkpoint, you actually have to go somewhere else in the level to normally like trigger this fight without loading checkpoint. But because the game gives you a checkpoint, when you reload here, those flags are assumed to have been set, and so this fight will trigger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you skip a fight trigger and then avoid. You don't have to. You can actually go touch the trigger. It's just a little slower. In Ultra Nightmare, that's what you would do. Because in Ultra Nightmare, we can't reload.
I just want to say, Bloodshot, I saw somebody in chat say I subbed because of that skip. So your skilled gameplay is literally driving subscriptions right now. So well done.
Well, I appreciate that, whoever that was. Thank you very much.
By the way, if you have Amazon Prime, did you know that you can subscribe with Amazon Prime?
Is that?
For free!
Yes, indeed. I was
crazy.
shocked too when I discovered this fact.
And did you know that the revenue from that subscription after taxes goes directly to Doctors Without Borders? So you can
What
literally...
a great deal.
Wow!
Oh, there he is. Jeez, that would have been bad. It was bad.
There we go.
That's actually
You are
annoying.
cursed. Just like that Tag 1 run.
The only way to uncurse him is to get an Amazon Prime subscription.
So that's a new enemy in. So that's a new enemy in Tag 2, and you can only kill him after he touches you, by blood punching him. So he had to go over there and charge up a blood punch, just to do that. He's really annoying. He just missed killing him early on, and he was just unfortunate there.
Yeah, I was trying to look for him, and then by the time he appeared, he nothing personneled me.
I think we actually have time for a few more donations.
All right, we're getting a mixture now. $25 from Neon. I was told that the cat is getting pets, but also some people not focused on the cat. Oddly enough, Hawk238128 said, "Here's $5 to pet the cat and $10 or 10 times that to get to 1 million and Halo 2." Thank you for the $50 there, Hawk. Foodie per second donated $10. Rip and Tear. How about you pet and care the kitty? Nice one.
Yes.
$25 from Silvartis, who's apparently, completely watching the wrong stream, but donating towards the Pet the Cat any % run. I'm pretty sure that's not the official category here, but I'll go with it. Thank you.
So we are now at the final level of the video game. We're going to be doing some basic movement, and we're going to start a fight. A lot of things with this fight, we're kind of forced to do it, and there's going to be some setup to do a cool little BFG here. We've been trying a lot to get it, and hopefully we actually get it live. It's actually kind of a tricky BFG. The weird thing about Doom Hunter sleds is that they actually will break even if. Okay, here. I'm gonna hold that thought for a second.
Doesn't miss.
Yes!
It's Bloodshot, baby.
Yes!
Wow!
That ends up, he spawns just as you kill the last thing that needs to die, basically. And it lets you BFG him out of the sled right away.
That's Galactic Brain.
That doesn't save like any time because you can kill the sled very quickly, as you just saw, but it's very nice what happened.
I mean, if it doesn't look cool as hell, yeah. that was wicked.
Yeah.
Oh! This is a little bit weird.
It's a little bit scary, if you ask me.
Oh, I forgot a BFG. Where did I forget? There.
Get health, I beg you.
Please, Bloodshot! God!
I think you're... Oh no, I got everything. Cool.
This is not healthy.
There we go. See, I got health there in the end.
Why do you do this to us?
Why not?
Why do you do this to yourself?
Okay.
He hasn't played Ultra Nightmare enough. He's not scarred.
That's fair. I have not played Ultra Nightmare enough.
I actually think we have time for a couple donations.
I'm gonna need a couple donations to calm down.
Right on. Okay. Yeah. Just so you know, there are more members of the $25 train. To pet that cat, Addy, pet the cat, $25. Thank you, Viz. Here's $25 for petting the cat. Thank you to Viz. Also,
shout out to Viz.
Slickify, $25. Pet the cat until it is done. So great.
So we just yeet hooked into to skip a fight trigger, or to skip a fight, and then we just went back to hit the fight trigger to start the next area, so we can actually proceed. Sorry, carry on. Just a quick explanation.
Sure. Here's a donation of $500 from Speevy. Loving the Doom Eternal runs and all the other great games so far. Also, give me Halo 2 or I go boo-hoo, frowny face. I hope we can make it. Oh, I'm sure we will with, yeah.
So, here's probably the biggest trick in the DLC.
Oh boy.
Yeet?
Yeah.
Yeet? Here it comes. Oh my god, he keeps going.
There we go.
There you go. That's called the
yeah.
that's called the Fortnite eat, and we promise it's inbounds.
God, I forgot that was the name of it.
You didn't pick a name, so there you go. The other person who found it at the same time will pick the name.
I would imagine that you're not actually going out of bounds, but everything else is just loading in.
Yes.
Kind of like behind you. Okay.
Kinda. Basically, like when you're in certain spots of the game, like the geometry, like the visuals don't load. They don't draw. Now here's the thing. The reason why that's not a qualifier for being out of bounds is because you can oftentimes get that through regular gameplay.
Yeah,
so it's hard for
right.
us.
Yeah, Terrace Nabad in particular, if you jump up into the ceiling, the area below you despawns, and sometimes it just won't even like come back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So we reload there to just for enemy cap once again.
This environment is sick, by the way. Like I don't know what's going on with the story, but like the war going on in the background and the lasers and everything. What a set piece.
wait until you see the final boss with the story, how it is.
Again.
Skipping the cutscene.
Don't worry about it.
I'm trying to watch.
Yeah, dude, this is very important.
Gotta slow down a little bit.
That can be a little bit scary when he jumps into you like that, so you have to like pull out the shield just as you exit the button.
Oh, shout-outs, by the way, to the energy shield. If you're struggling in this game, if you're playing and you're really trying to finish Ultra Nightmare, the energy shield is your best friend.
Yeah,
Goodness.
I have noticed that. You bust that out quite a lot, and it seems like it just like negates all damage coming into you, or what's the deal with that?
So the Doomslayer has 350 HP. The energy shield has 600.
So if you just have it out, it just absorbs.
Yeah. It loses HP at 100 HP per second, but sometimes it's just better to like pull out the energy shield rather than like to switch runes to save yourself. Like there's a rune that you can use to save yourself, but energy shield is oftentimes just better than like the first thing you want to do. It is just that powerful for Ultra Nightmare.
Oh, there he is.
And it wasn't used for such a long time too.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that.
Spawnlands are a little bit weird right now, so I'm not sure.
Are you trying to set up for a BFG, or?
I am.
Yes.
I have no idea where the guy below me is, so I'm just gonna go for it. Whatever. There he is.
So a lot of the guys,
Nice.
a lot of the guys that we just that were there before we when we entered a portal and we entered this area, there were a lot of enemies before that. They actually don't despawn. So this is one of those instances where like just regular gameplay can actually mess you up and actually cause problems.
There's an Arachnotron alive somewhere. How? Probably got spawn limits, actually.
Yeah, probably spawn later. So we're gonna get to the final boss pretty soon. Do you think it would be a good time for a few final more donations?
I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't ask me because I always think it's a good time. $50 from Gnaw. Such masterful cat petting skills. Wow. I mean, meow. $250 here from A2. Loving the Doom runs. Also, let's hit 1 million and get that Halo run. Thank you, A2. And $25 here from Max. Rip and tear until it is done. $100 here from Anonymous. 20 tickets to the $5 train, please. Thank you, Anonymous. Captain Rock QC with $25. Pet the cat any %. Boo.
I love it.
So what
Golf
happened
clap
there?
on that one.
So what happened there was you're supposed to fight 20 stone imps, but stone imps are very slow and annoying. So if you destroy all of them with the destroyer blade at one time, the game says, "Oh, all of the enemies that are supposed to die are dead," and therefore that one ends. We're not the final boss. Basically, it's a giant marauder, which we have to parry and then use this hammer that we picked up to stun him so we can do more damage to him.
What is this boss?
This boss is
Don't worry about it.
you'll see it.
Is this Is this Satan? Is this Dark
Yeah,
Lord?
He's
Kinda.
Voldemort, he's God, and he's the devil. Yes,
What?
I'm serious.
So I am gonna try to set something up here.
So we're gonna try and one cycle him here. See if we can get it.
I definitely messed it up. I can get another one on another of his health bars, but
That
So-
stun animation is too much.
So there's
Also
actually a
really
way you
good
can
ones, yeah.
one cycle him totally, and it's actually kind of complicated. And a lot of these one cycles were once again discovered, like most things in Tag 2, by Siler and Bryo, and they found a way to one cycle this boss. And the details are a little bit complicated, but basically you want to just deal a certain amount of damage to him, and then stop for a little bit, and then start dealing damage again, and that just kind of works out. Let's see if we can get it.
I was supposed to do PBs, I think. Yeah, I messed it up.
It looks hard.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
By the way, those dogs that Voldemort summons, I mean the Dark Lord summons, drop Sentinel Hammer ammo, so you want to kind of leave them out and then pick up the Sentinel Hammer ammo
I see.
later, so you don't have to...
I mean,
We
the
are going to
scenery
be
is
coming up
amazing.
on final time here soon. If just to get it out of the way, because this fight is basically almost done. If you guys have shoutouts you want to do, feel free to talk over this.
Bruno, you want to start?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, I just really appreciate being here. Like, oh,
That's annoying.
anyway.
I wanna
Well,
shout
I was
out that
saying,
helmet.
I really appreciate being here. I've had like a really nice time just hanging out with y'all and like just having casual fireside chats while Blood absolutely like tears this game apart. Like this has been really fun. So, yeah, I'm always happy to be a part of things like this. So thank you. Yeah, that's all I got.
I just want to say thank you, Bruno, for saying thank you. That was very kind. I wanted to put heart in chat.
bryonato, we love you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
What is this boss doing to me?
Being this boss. As you can
Yeah.
tell,
Pet
we're
the cat,
not
did you?
particularly fond of this boss. And then we'll leave it at
telling you to
that.
pet the cat.
It's very RNG in
Yes.
not a good way.
Yeah, we just have to wait for him to turn green before we can actually, fight him. So, I just want to shout out Bowser once again. I want to
Yeah.
thank GDQ for having us. I really appreciate it. I want to shout out Chad. You guys have been great. Thank you.
I want to shout out Bloodshot's other brother that didn't donate. And it's really yeah, my mom.
Wow.
Hi, Mom. Love you. And the cat, because it needs to be pet.
So we're just waiting for him to turn green. Oh, and by the way, when he hits you, he heals. So he's very
This
annoying.
looks like a very tough fight.
It's more annoying than it is tough, which
I see.
is not fun, but
Yeah. Especially in a marathon setting, you're just... You may kind of nerve-wracking.
I probably need to let you know that we received a donation here from Anonymous in the amount of $10,000
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
with the comment, please pet cat. P.S.
Oh my
not
God.
from cat. I don't know what else to say, but I had
Wow.
to let you know.
Bloodshot,
yeah,
pet
thank
the
you,
cat.
Anonymous. I kind of have to. If
Yeah,
this guy
a
would
little
turn green.
preoccupied right now, I guess, but I mean, when the time comes, those pets are coming.
And time.
GG.
Wait, what?
So, for those who didn't watch the ending of Tag 1, this is, to quote the game, you in their world. And I'm just going to let this cutscene play out because it's a cool cutscene.
What the hell?
Tell me, have you nothing to say to your creator
Looks like you.
before you strike him down?
I am extremely confused.
Oh my god.
Nah,
So-
fam, I don't got
That makes
stuff
me
to
giggle
say.
like a schoolgirl.
I did have some shout outs to do, but instead of actually shouting them out what I did, and I'll have to wait for this little cutscene part to go through. There's a popular modder named Proda who did a lot of cool modding for this game that really kept the game alive. And I asked him to do us a favor, and here you go.
Whoa.
These are the credits.
Oh!
Document.
Hey, there you go. Yo, suck it, Bowser. Okay.
Oh.
All
This is
right.
so cool.
A lot of cool people put this run together. I always say that that all the runs are not one person. It's an entire community that that comes together for it.
Heartless Ranch meta.
I hope Meta appreciates
So
that joke.
cool.
And
You put Bezel
as
in
it
there.
says, big, huge thanks to everybody who's watching and donating.
Hello?
And also, you should read
Are you
Worm.
still here? Great.
It's very important.
I have a message for you from Marty, Hugo,
Wow,
and all the
that was
hardworking
special, dude.
devs at id Software. Thanks for
Yeah,
playing.
big thanks to
Hell, wouldn't
everybody.
be the
Like
same without you.
everybody in the credits, everybody who I didn't get to mention in the credits. There's so many people, and it's been an honor to do this again. This is very fun. So I'm glad I could share this with everybody.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jeez.
One more time in the chat, everyone, for BloodShot9001 there with the Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods 1 and 2 runs. We got a $100 donation here from Bodo Lawyer who says, entrails are red, that cat was cute, BloodShot9001 is too long of a name to end this haiku. Wait, was that even the start of a haiku? Anyway, I'm sorry. Continuing the comment, much love from France for this awesome run and incredible couch. Thank you for that donation. Also have one more here following up on a theme there that developed $500 from Bloodshot's cat. Hey man, thanks for petting me. Hope your Doom run's going all right and stuff. Meow and whatnot. I'm gonna go scratch up your stuff now or maybe take a nap. Purr and tear. MWM Interactive, a publisher of beautiful and inventive games from incredible indie devs around the world, presents Stonefly. Glide your mech through tree canopies, marshes, and prickly briars in this stunning action RPG from award-winning Flight School Studio, creators of Creature in the Well. Go on missions and patrols in this world's undiscovered naturescapes. Take on a variety of bugs out in the wild, harvest minerals, and craft upgrades to your mech. In short, stun 'em, shoot 'em, get the loot. Stonefly is available now on PC and consoles and currently 20% off on Steam. Check out the game at stoneflygame.com. All right, everyone, that was the end of my time on the microphone here for now. Just wanted to say farewell, let you know Pokemon Black and White is coming up next. Yeah, what wonderful runs those were. Those that tasted the bite of his sword named him BloodShot9001, right? Now, as I leave you, I will be leaving you with an interview we have related to our upcoming Halo 2 run. So, Keizaron, why don't you tell us more? Why don't you tell us more?
How's it going, STDQ 2021? Keizaron back here again. I'm here with the runner of Halo 2, Monopoli. I haven't seen you in forever, man. How you been?
Been good. Been good. Lockdowns maybe almost over. I got vaccinated, ready to get outside more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, before we go into the meat and potatoes of the interview, I do want to point out to everyone at home, Halo 2 is a bonus game, and it's not a traditional get $100,000 and get this game in thing. No, our goal here is to get to 1 million raised overall, which we have until the end of the Pokemon Black and White race. So I want to see those donations coming in, whether someone starts a $5 train and goes absolutely loco with it, or whether someone goes, big Spirit Bomb, Super Saiyan, and throws a gajillion dollars our way. We want to see this Halo 2 run come in, and here's why. AGDQ 2017, we had Cripe in play. It was legendary difficulty. The time was around an hour, 40 minutes. Then AGQ 2014, we have our own Monopoly here doing legendary, just shy of 2 hours and 20 minutes. And now here we are, several years later, SGDQ 2021, we have an hour 17 estimate. So clearly something has changed. So why don't you give us some details on what's been going on with the route?
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of new changes, but one difference is I'm going to be playing any percent, which is played on the easiest difficulty. But by playing on the easiest difficulty, you get the ability to do some different tricks. One of them is this new glitch called arbitrary unit possession, where you can, well, like the name says, possess an arbitrary unit. The units in the game are the different characters, like the bipeds and the vehicles. So like the enemies and your character and their character, and all of them are classified in the game as a certain way as a biped. And with some trickery with the way the respawn system works, you can increment and decrement it by showing, like throwing a certain number of grenades or shooting bullets or dropping weapons, and then you can turn into enemies and you gain their properties when you do that. So you can walk a little faster if you turn into an enemy, or take on their properties, the ability to fly some vehicles that you're not supposed to. And there's some really cool skips that you can do. You can now skip like basically the whole game.
And then I also was watching your recent record run, which is around like an hour and 10. And I noticed that the first half of the game, it's actually just cut in half because you got 2 players on the screen. What's up with that?
Yeah, so part of the arbitrary unit possession is that it requires respawning. And to respawn, you have to have a teammate, because that's just how the campaign works. So I play solo co-op where I put both controllers in my lap, and sometimes I'm holding both of them at the same time. Sometimes I just set one down. But you have to do things with both of them simultaneously during the run. But when you respawn next to your teammate, you activate those glitches and you save enough time. So even if I'm a little less optimal with my movement compared to someone who was holding one controller, the time saved from holding 2 offsets it by a lot.
Now, there's obviously a whole slew of new stuff coming at us with the new route and everything. What's some familiar stuff we might see from like some of the older routes that's still around?
Yeah, so in the second half of the run, the first 5 missions of the game have the AUP glitch, but the second half, it doesn't save as much time. So we sign out the second controller, and it goes to a much more traditional speed run where you'll see a lot of sword flies, a lot of launches, a lot of like grenade jumps out of the map. A lot of if you've seen the old Halo runs, it's the traditional stuff that looks really cool. So it's got a mix of what I think is I think it's the coolest Halo route that's been speedrun so far for Halo 2.
Now, kind of just get a little more info on both when you're doing solo co-op and when you're doing true solo. What would you say are the hardest tricks or hardest sections to look out for in the solo co-op section and then in the solo section on its own?
So in the co-op section, there's 2 points that I'm a little worried about that I might have to revert and try again a couple of times, where you possess your own teammate's body. So 2 of you are in the same body. And that means with one controller, you can control both players. But when you do that, you can separate yourself. And when you separate yourself, one guy becomes the dead body and one guy respawns next to him. But the problem is when you are the dead body, you're stuck as the dead body and you can't move. Like dead bodies just stay there flopped on the ground. So we use that ability that the dead body's already dead, and we launch it around and we like launch it through walls and respawn next to it so we could skip large sections of the game. But then once we've done that, the game, to make sure that both players are present, you need a live body a little bit later. So you have to find a way to make him not be a dead body. But because he can't walk, he can't go anywhere. So we have to manage that, and there's some difficulties. That's the hardest trick. There's 2 points where I'm going to have to be trying to delete my dead friend.
I'm trying not to laugh too much because I'm pretty sure this is the most I've ever heard dead body used in a sentence at GDQ in like literally ever. And I'm just trying to picture how this is going to work in my head. But, all of you at home, you don't have to picture what it's like. If we hit that 1 million, Monopoly is going to be showing off this awesome route. So be sure to get those donations in. You could go to gamesdonequick.com to get that fulfilled. Once again, I'm Keizaron. This is Monopoly. Let's hit that goal, and we'll see you on the flip side, everyone. See you later.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online. I am Nicole Goodnight, and I will be your host for this upcoming Pokemon race. We are still getting ready for that race. I'm going to go ahead and read some donations, and keep in mind, there are plenty of bid incentives open for some amazing Pokemon names. Chat, you really pulled through for me for Davy the Blue Chameleon. You really pulled through for me. I have a favor to ask of you. Reshiram's nickname, we have Bees currently in the lead, which is a solid choice. But right behind Bees is Kiryu Coco, and I would just love to see that one come ahead. So, Chad, if you could do me this huge favor. That being said, we have some amazing donations already coming through for this Pokemon run. Let's start off. We have $25 from Trainer Anande, $25 for the original electric mouse Pikachu. Donate for your favorite Pokemon. Thank you so much for that donation. And remember, Twitch chat, if you want to donate for your favorite Pokemon and want to put the Pokédex number, go for it. If you wanted me to attempt a cry of a Pokemon, I will do my best for you. But what I really want to see us do is hit 1 million so we can get that next bonus game, and I think we can do it in this run. What do you think, Twitch chat? I have a $25 donation from Best Coach Korea that says, "Hello, cute chat and commentator. I am super hyped for this Pokemon race coming up. Good luck to the runners, and I can't wait for the rest of the runs coming up. Stay hydrated and safe, and let's get that 1 million. Heart emoji. Thank you so much for the donation." We are at $863,190.13. We do not have far to go for 1 million. Come on, Twitch chat, we've got this. I have $255 for Captain Stitches. Torchic is Best Firebird. Good luck to Pulsifex and Swiftalo. Let's get that Halo 2 bonus game. Thank you so much. And if you are just joining us, we are running for Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world, providing life-saving medical humanitarian care and speaking out about what they see in those areas. Their work aids people based solely on need, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or political affiliation. MSF relies mainly on the generosity of individual donors, with over 90% of MSF's income coming from private donors giving small amounts. And no matter what you donate, everything is going towards this amazing cause. Even a $5 donation is enough to purchase an MUAC band. The mid-upper arm circumference band is a simple yet effective diagnostic tool for assessing malnutrition. So every single dollar that you donate counts. It doesn't matter if it is $1, it doesn't matter what it is. Everything is going to them, and it is such an amazing cause. And the fact that we've raised so much already, thank you so much. And we will be right back, Twitch chat. Welcome back, Twitch chat. Are you hydrated? Are you feeling good today? Because we are going to have such a cozy, great time with this run coming up. We have $7.78 from Bard, Fairy, and Boy. Pokemon Black and White race with Swift and Pulse? Heck yeah! Let's get some Pokedex entries. $7.78 for my favorite, Mimikyu. Thank you so much for your donation. And you know what? Let's get a little early start on this chat. If you've seen some of the other Pokemon runs, you know me. We're friends at this point, right? If you don't know who I am, I would like to introduce myself again. Hi, I'm Nicole Goodnight, and I have a very short story to tell you because what I want to ask from you, chat, is a $10 Caterpie train. When I was but a young lad, 2014 was Pokemon X and Y, I did a mystery trade. I traded away a level 30 or something, maybe 40, had a Caterpie in return. I was crushed. Because it was a Caterpie, right? And I traded away something big, hoping for something big. But that Caterpie came with a name. Twitch chat, that Caterpie's name was Knees. I thought that this was hilarious because Caterpies do not have knees, and got a plush commissioned. And, well, let's just fast forward to, I believe it was SGDQ 2020. And Knees became a thing. And I shared him with you all. And so much good fan art came from that. So please, $10 for Knees would just make my day, and it would help us get to 1 million. So really, it's a win-win situation if you ask me. That being said, we have some amazing donations still just flowing on in. You all are amazing. We have New Kaho with $471, joining in the favorite Pokemon Dex number, 471 for Glaceon. Thank you so much for your donation. I have a $25 donation from RoboChuck. Friends introduced me to speedrunning watching an SGDQ event years ago. The Pokemon Red 4-way race sold me on speedrunning and got me back into the Pokemon franchise in general. Happy to cheer on Pulse and Swift in this year's race. Put this towards naming Woobat Woobat. Thank you. Thank you so much for the donation. That is an amazing name. I am a big fan of Woobat, so if you're looking for a name for Woobat and you don't know which one to select, Woobat's a solid choice. I have a $16.20 donation from Carly HB. This donation is in honor of my favorite Pokemon, number 162, Furret. Let's reach 1 million raised for this great cause. Thank you so much for your donation. We are only 120. Ooh, we just jumped up a lot. Wow. Caught me off while I was trying to do math. We are only 126,600 and faster than I can. Well, like going faster than I can do math. We are getting there. Basically, we're roughly $127,000 away from 1 million. Twitch chat, we can do this. I have $50 from Ace Cage that says, Pokemon, we gotta reach 1 million. Thank you so much for your donation. We have a $60 donation from Honey Melon. Did someone say Kiryu Coco? Let's do this, weather hackers. Thank you so much for your donation. I did in fact say Kiryu Coco. I would love to see that name win. So if you want to see that name win for that particular Pokemon, go ahead and get your donations in for it. We have a $25 donation from Dirty Dan. Bidoof is love. Bidoof is life. Thank you so much for your donation. We have $25 from Raffle Skippy, $25 for Pikachu. Let's go Halo 2. I have another $25 donation from the Pikachu Master. Did I hear a Pokedex donation train? If not, that sounds like a great idea. 25 for the original squeaky electric friend. Thank you so much for your donation, and you did in fact hear a Pokemon Pokedex donation train. I have a $500 anonymous donation that says SGDQ Hype. Thank you so much for your donation, Anonymous. I have a $133 donation from Matt Used Struggle. Pokedex Dono train to push for 1 million. Here's 133 for the Pokemon that shows that you can become anything you'd like to be. Eevee, thank you so much. Eevee is one of my personal favorites, and I know Swiftaloo loves Eevee as well, so we both appreciate that donation. I have $25 from Kebalak. Roses are red. Pokemon can be blue. Let's watch a race and then Halo 2. Thank you so much for your donation. I have $250 from Wizon. Thank you all so much for your efforts putting together this amazing marathon. Thank you. It's because of everyone that's watching right now that we can continue to do this and give to such amazing causes. So thank you all so much for being here. We're just going to have a great time tonight. All right, Chad, I have to admit, when I saw this donation, I did not know the cry of a cricketune, so I did have to Google it. So you'll have to pardon me if I butcher this, but I promised you I would do my best. I have a $20 donation from Halfkey. Oh, snap, we're doing Pokemon cries? Gotta give it up to the goat cry of cricketune. Whoop. Chad, please. I have a $25 donation from Red that says, knees. Thank you so much, Red. And I have a $10 donation from Knees Train Car that says for knees. Thank you so much, both of you. And with that, I hear that we are ready to go. So without any further ado, I will bring you Pokemon Black and White Any% Black versus White Race with Pulse Effects and Swiftaloo.